Oh la la, buongiorno, buongiorno, buongiorno. How are you? How are you? I am good. Kinda. Okay, so today I wanted to do an analysis of the market, let's say, of AC Milan from the summer, from the previous year, to maybe understand and analyze why we did that market and why the choices were wrong, what happened to AC Milan, why we suck, and if they're trying to fix AC Milan now or these are just like patches they're trying to put so that we can reach the top four of Serie A, and all that kind of stuff. So maybe this is more of a recap of what happened until now, but I thought doing it because I wanted to do it, to do a little bit of discussion with you to understand what we could have done better and what we can do from now on. Because why not? Why not? Because this year is being terrible. It's being very tedious for AC Milan, and it feels a lot like a banter era all over again. It's terrible. It's terrible. Oh my god. But thanks to you, I'm having a better time. Because if I were to follow AC Milan alone the whole year, oh my god, that would be super depressing. At least I'm talking, and we're talking, we're discussing, we're keeping each other alive this year as well. Before we begin, I also started like another channel just to talk about other stuff, like mainly probably Japan because I live in Japan, so stuff related to Japan. I don't know, also to talk about something different from AC Milan to time to time. I don't know when I'm gonna upload stuff there, but who knows? If you want to follow, you'll find the link in the description. But let's go. So here we go. So the first thing I want to say is that doing a market like for a football team, is very, very hard because despite having all the datas and the website for the datas, and I'm sure that every team has its own software for datas and stuff, it's really hard to choose a player because you will not know how that player will perform in your club and in your league. So it's an extremely hard job, and that's why you must have a sporting director and a scouting team worth of that name. So it's a hard job, I'll say this. But let's go. So the previous season with Pioli, we're still with Pioli, Milan placed second in the league. That might look like a good result to you if you didn't follow AC Milan the whole season, but for those who followed the league, they will know that AC Milan was out of the Scudetto race since pretty much the beginning. In November, we were very far away from Inter and even Juventus. Then Juventus broke down, basically, and we managed to arrive second. And we were out of the Serie A, okay? So not great. We were out of the Europa League, which was the last thing for Pioli to stay in AC Milan, right? It was the last thing he could do to not be sacked, let's say. And we were the only team in the top four who did not win a trophy, despite arriving second, because everybody else won something, okay? So all of this happened. It's my idea that the management wanted to keep Pioli. It wanted to keep Pioli, and they did not plan anything else during the end of the season. And you could see that the next season, right? The clear absence of a plan, of a planning strategy was very clear to us. And I think that their idea was to just keep Pioli and keep going with Pioli because we arrived second. Because from the management point of view, second place, it's good. On paper, it's good. It means money, it's a successful season. But we have to say that we got lucky as well. So you should not expect to replicate the second place, for example, because the team is not good enough, in my opinion, and in the opinion of many other supporters. So it was over. So they tried to save him, but it was just too much. The supporters were upset and all that kind of stuff, right? So in the end, Pioli got sacked. And the management chose Lopetegui. Lopetegui. Why did they choose Lopetegui? I have no idea why they chose Lopetegui. Probably because it was cheap. And to the surprise of everybody, the hashtag Nopetegui became a thing, became very, very popular, and the management chose to not choose Lopetegui. And they went on to another coach. Who was the other coach? It was Paulo Fonseca. Man, I really suck at doing these presentations. Look at the design. Look. Why is it like that now? Okay, we're back. So, new season. Who got chosen? Fonseca. Fonseca has been defined as a side grade from Pioli, so not a step up, not a step down, around the same, even if we can argue that Pioli in the end did much better than Fonseca, obviously, right? But at the beginning it was like, yeah, Fonseca, Pioli, it's kind of similar, huh? And maybe this is what they thought too. You know, the management thought that by choosing a coach that is similar, let's say, to Pioli, the team will perform like the past year. So second, and so on. Problem is that this is not true, and Fonseca got chosen at the last minute. There was no market preparation. In fact, Fonseca presentation was done without Fonseca in the beginning. Remember when they announced the coach wasn't there, and it was really sad because like nobody went to pick him up at the airport. So it was like oh my god, it was very terrible. So the choice of Fonseca, he got chosen also because his salary was very low. He didn't have any expectations and didn't have to, choose players. Didn't have much to say in the market. That's the other season because management want to control everything, and that's why they did not get a coach like Conte that was not close to AC Milan, but he was waiting signs from AC Milan until the very last minute when he went to Napoli. Okay, so because of this, the market was not planned. It was not planned and was done too late. Okay? Too late because I don't know if they didn't have time to talk or anything, but like the negotiations also, they took forever, like to get like Fofana and Emerson Royal. It took forever, like especially for Fofana, because they gave like an absurdly low price in the beginning. They gave like what 13 millions, and they were asking for 25. I can't remember, and in the end they gave what they wanted, but we just wasted time because the players did not have time to do the preparation. So but we had still some hopes, right? So we got some players, but since the market was done late and was not planned properly, that created a lot of problems. So questionable decisions. Emerson Royal, for example, like everybody knew about Emerson Royal, and it was a questionable choice because we needed a lot of players to fix, but most of all, we needed a striker, and we still do. We do need a striker, and now that it's January and we still didn't buy anybody, it's kind of late for a striker because the good strikers are not available now, and the good teams, they're not gonna like sell their striker right now. So I think the main thing we should do is fix in the midfield right now, and just this season is gone, so it's whatever, right? So but after their long negotiations, we got Emerson Royal, Fofana, Pavlovic, Morata, Abraham. So what is the problem in this? So we got a few players, right? But we didn't get enough good players. This is the problem of the Moneyball or the strategy that they want to use, which is hope that players that did not perform well will perform well in Serie A. A good example of this is Renders. Renders was a good decision, right? But not all decisions can be good. So all these choices were not very great. I mean, some were good, like Fofana and Morata, for example. Fofana was good, but nobody can replace him now. And Morata, I think, is a good choice, but we should have gotten like a young, good striker to put with Morata, so to basically to grow up with Morata. Instead, we got Abraham, and we knew how Abraham was. We just hoped that Abraham would be good stuff like this. It's a lot of hopes and gambling in these management decisions. They hope the same for Emerson Royal, that didn't quite work out. And we finished the market with remaining spots. Like, I mean, we needed more. We needed more from the market to be competitive. No, because they keep saying we are competitive. We were not competitive. We needed more. We just needed more. That never happens because we were late and we didn't plan anything. We just went by feeling. So why did this happen? What were the main issues? The main issues were these. So lack of a sporting director. We need somebody that can take control and have a strategy. Have a strategy not for this year, but for the next year. Somebody that knows the job, knows what to do. Because we don't have that. We have so our management is opportunistic. So we just get players if there is an opportunity, or we get like cheap players and hope that they perform well, right? A sporting director has a vision usually. The job of a sporting director is very hard because he has to work with a budget and he has to produce results quickly in the case of AC Milan. And we don't have one. All the names that you heard were just like placeholders pretty much. And who made the market is not clear in AC Milan. Was it Ibrahimovic? Was Fulani? Moncada? Is not very clear who was in charge of having this vision and the strategy. That obviously the late planning is a problem, as we already said, and the Moneyball strategy. So the Moneyball strategy, I mean, I'm not against it, but it has to be used like with some. You cannot just use this for football. Like the statistics in football are so hard to read because you need a lot of context. Because if you go on a website like FBref, for example, where you can find a lot of statistics, it is hard to understand them properly because you need the context, you need to know the league, you need to know how the team plays. I mean, if you look, for example, Emerson Royal statistics, you can argue that he is a great or a good player, right? But then with the eye test, we always say something different. Even if it's true that with the eye test, we focus mainly on the negative aspects of any player. But still, so it's hard. It's hard. I mean, obviously, I'm not against data and stuff. They're good to understand overall how a player performs, but you need a person that knows how to use it. And it's not easy. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy. It's really hard to understand the data. But this Moneyball strategy cannot be the only thing. You need like good players, proven players. And those players usually are expensive. They cost money that you need to invest. You might fail, because it's not certain that the player you're going to get is going to be good in your league. It's a risk. And this management does not want to take risks because it's a fund. It's a fund, and the fund, they want to have good, beautiful, green spreadsheets because investors and stuff like that. So you understand why they do what they do, right? But you need the good players. And these 6 months of Serie A showed you that you need good players. That's it, right? So next is the disconnection between the team and the management. I do know this is more of a feeling from me, but you can see it too, right? I don't feel a connection between team and management in the same way that I felt when Maldini was there. Because do you remember Maldini? Going into Milanello, training, when there was training, the players were always there and Maldini was there, he was talking to them. So this kind of connection in the environment is very important. It's very important in football because football is not just number. Like any other sport in life, you cannot just say, oh, you must have good numbers, and if you have good numbers, you're going to be good. No, there's a lot going on behind it. And the mood, even if these players get paid millions, the mood is very important. It's true. We wish that this guy get paid like 10 millions a season. he must perform well. We wish it was like that, but no, you need like a good environment in the work. And I think that just Milan is not a good environment. That's how I feel. I hope it will get better, obviously. And this brings us to a demotivating environment. The players do not feel motivated, and you can see that on the pitch. Unfortunately, you can see that nobody is giving their best. Now I hope to see that with the change of coach and everything, but still, even Conceição said that the motivation, like the mental issue of this team, is it's huge. It's gigantic, and that's a big problem because our players are not necessarily bad players. They're just not performing well. Okay, and this brings us to this. That's pretty much, at least that's what I think. Let me know what you think. If you have something to say, just say it in the comments. Sorry if this was kind of a long video of me rambling, but I wanted to reorganize a little bit my thought and what I think of this management, of this team, of this year. So what I'm hoping now, what can we do better now? Like, instead of trying to patch fix anything really, even if obviously that's what they want to do to get fourth, because if they get fourth, that's a success for them. Remember this. So we need first thing we need is a sporting director. There's no questions. The first thing that has to happen now, because these all the market, you can plan now the market for the next year. This season is gone. Okay, you can get some players, try to fix it a little bit, but the true big market has to be done in summer, and we can fix it, but we need to get like a sporting director with a plan that can. But we need it like now. We get it now for the summer, so we know how to move. You decide already how to move from the summer, so that the next year we're not like slow to get players, slow to act in the market, and we can be competitive for the next season. Because I don't want to leave another season like this. I don't know about you, but seriously, what the hell? Come on. All right, ciao.